What's up, y'all? Cattle Prod back again. Getting better at getting the music queued up. Getting sitting back down here. Doing that all on the fly, man. No edits. Just catching me raw as I come. Oh, raw. Ugh. Maybe y'all don't want to catch me raw. I don't want to catch any of y'all raw either. We'll have none of that. There's a lot of guys in my audience. Should fucking get you headbanging. It's Beheaded from Malta. Resurgence of Oblivion. There they are. Look at them dudes. Don't mind that Slipknot shirt. He was in Europe. It was different. It was in Malta. It's different out there. It's pretty cool though. I like it. Checks all the boxes. Yeah. This is good. I've had this for years. Bought it from the band. They played in Houston. I was at a concert that they were at with some local bands, and I never actually saw Beheaded, but I did manage to scoop up some merch, their CDs. But I got called away, and it was probably some beautiful young woman. Probably got high and was with a chick. That was known to happen to Cattle Prod at shows. Yeah, man, I got called away from this one. She was hot, wanted my attention, and weed was involved. What the fuck you gonna do? Missed the band. Another time, it was a Dying Fetus concert. It was the last Dying Fetus show with the original members, and they played Infatuation with Malevolence all the way through. It was at Fitzgerald's in Houston. Fetus and Skinless, I think, played downstairs. Skinless and Fetus went on and did their shit. But upstairs, Dropkick Murphys and some other hardcore punk bands and shit like that were playing. And like the punks and metalheads would like alternate floors. Like some of the punks would come downstairs for metal, and then some of the metalheads would go back upstairs with punks to go for the punk metal show, punk hardcore show. It was so cool. It was one of the roughest pits I was in. I was in for Skinless, and that shit was fucking rough because you had like the metal dudes, you know. From Houston, you probably had some Dallas guys out there, maybe even San Antonio. And then you had the hardcore punks from all those areas too coming down. One of the most brutal pits to be in. And I was only in for Skinless. I was making out with a woman during Fetus's set. Fetus played Infatuation with Malevolence in totality, start to finish. They started out with like Killing Adrenaline, Grotesque Impalement, and then went into Infatuation all the way through, and I had big old D cups on my chest and nice tongue going back and forth with this young lady. She had some... I'm not a tit guy, I'm really not, but those were some cozy boobies. Comment down below if you know what I'm saying. Comment down below, are you a boob person, butt guy, leg guy? Or bellies? Some dudes like them hips bellies. Man, I'm kind of stuck on the hips. Small boobs, big hips. Oh. I dated a chick, man, this blonde Annie Lennox looking chick. She was fucking smoking hot, but she had small chest. And this guy she had dated gave her a shirt and said, who needs tits like this? And on the back it said, when you have an ass like this. And it was like a devil's tail on both of them. The devil's tail curling around the non-existent boob, and then the other one pointing towards her ass. Oh. That chick went insane, though, unfortunately. Sad. It's always nice having her at shows. I took her to a couple shows, and You get mad street cred when you come in with like old death metal shirts on and some fucking hot, smoking hot chick who's like clearly not into metal but is into me. And hey, we're gonna go to this fucking thing, and they're like, "Wow, y'all are nuts." I love bringing them in like that, man. That was mad street cred back in the day. Bringing it 8 plus 8, 9, or 10 out of 10. Bringing one of those into a show, clearly not a part of the scene. Beheaded. Resurgence of Oblivion. Feeling good this morning, man. Feeling good. I don't know about the rest of y'all. I live an exciting life. I wake up every morning praying to God that this is my last day on this rock. And every night I go to sleep disappointed that it was not. I wake up ready to conquer. Driven to conquer. That's why I love metal. It just amps me up. That's why I never stop listening to metal. I only listen to metal. I mean, I listen to non-metal stuff, but like rarely. Or for fun. Like, oh, that's cute. What a cute song that is. Anyways, back to Beheaded. If you have a good system, the bass tone in this is very delicious. Night of the Living Dead, one of the greatest horror movies ever made. Fight me. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, greatest horror movie ever made. Night of the Living Dead being the second best. This is actually the colorized version, the remake, 1990 remake, where they did it in color. Tom Savini directed. Tom Savini is the guy responsible for all the cool special effects, all that good stuff. Ooh, there's commentary on there with Tom Savini. Man, he said that they had to, some of the gruesomeness they had to downplay. They were like, he had like scenes that they didn't even use because they were just so gruesome, and people were like, no, that's too much, it's too much. And I think he said in the end it actually works better because the less you see, the more your mind fills in the gaps. And then probably my next favorite horror movie, so Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Night of the Living Dead, Return of the Living Dead. Sorry, man, this is my... You can't have Return without Night, just so we all know. Yo, I love this fucking movie. It's one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. Hands down, Return of the Living Dead. And I got all the extra stuff in here. Oh, one of the Blu-ray runs regular. Classic horror movies. If you don't know them, fix that. You get to check them out at least. Check out Return, check out Night of the Living Dead. Check out both Night of the Living Deads. The black and white one's kind of, I don't know, you could tell they didn't really have that fleshed out when they did it. Barbara has like no role in the movie other than to be catatonic. It's fucking awful. But in the remake Night of the Living Dead, Tom Savini actually makes Barbara go through like, I'm a girly girl to catatonic woman to like, I'm gonna get out of this survivor woman into like just badass murking zombies, just dropping them motherfuckers like to hardcore Barbara by the very end. And then, but she breaks down again and kind of like normals out because she gets rescued, but she just breaks down when she gets rescued because she doesn't believe it, you know. But then she just kind of gets catatonic in the PTSD and shit. Tom Savini kicked ass with his Barbara. I'm sorry. Other than that, the thing was like scene for scene the same movie, except Barbara is better in this one. Yeah. Barbara, Tom Savini, Night of the Living Dead. And then, of course, you got Lieutenant Ellen Ripley, last surviving member of the Nostromo. Oh, man. That's a fucking heroine right there. Heroine. That means the female hero. I guess that's why they named the drug that. It was, oh, they call it her and stuff, don't they? I don't know. Fuck intravenous drugs. Y'all, get off the drugs. Get off the fucking drugs. Tired of watching people get fucked up with that shit. Beheaded. Definitely not poser. Definitely not poser. This unposers you. If you listen to this like every day for a week, it like unposers you. So you're like, man, I really love Led Zeppelin. That's pretty poser. Unless you're like 60. Then it's okay for you to like Led Zeppelin. But if you're like under 30 or under, no, 35 and under. 35 and under, you shouldn't say Led Zeppelin is cool. You're like, oh, Led Zeppelin, it's old people music. Unless you're like a music historian or just a real rock musician, you know, if you're just a normal person who doesn't play an instrument and you just listen to music, you shouldn't be. And so if you do listen to that wimp stuff, unposerize yourself with beheading. Resurgence of Oblivion. It does. It actually takes away poser points. So every day for a week, you'll notice that you've become less poser. You'll look in the mirror and go, wow, I'm not so much of a poser anymore. If you continue to do this treatment, after 6 months, you will you might be okay. You'll know after 6 months what to do next. And if you start owning like anything from Unique Leader Records, or you know, that definitely like unposerizes. I'm padding the runtime, y'all. Can you tell? Now we're spinning this. Yeah, the guy's stills are fun. Looks like he had a lot of fun with those. If you haven't seen this, watch this. This is the one with the talking zombies. That brains. Yeah, this comes from this one. This is where that started. So some of y'all don't actually know where that is when zombies call out for brains. Apparently Robert Kirkman's universe of Walking Dead is apparently the Night of the Living Dead universe, but it's like, it doesn't do the night. It basically does 6 months after Night of the Living Dead, you have Robert Kirkman's comic book, The Walking Dead. The graphic novel, I should say. I have read every single issue of The Walking Dead. I either have it in trade or I have it in issues. And I think I have the last year is in issues. The last 2 years of the run is in issues. I know a guy who was the first issue of it. I don't even want to know what that goes for. But Walking Dead, I've read the whole thing. I don't know if I'm going to read it again now. There's books I will read again. There's graphic novels I would definitely read again. Walking Dead was not one of them. The show was awful. If you've not seen it, no. Daryl is not in that comic. He's not in there. Everybody loves Daryl. Daryl, the most favorite character of the TV show. He's not in the comic. He's made specifically for the show. And who's the short-haired chick that has the abusive husband and he dies? And then Carol? Cheryl, is that her name? And then she becomes pretty tough towards the end. Yeah, in the show. That's what happens in the show. In the book, she tries to have like this three-way with Rick and Rick's wife. I don't remember what his wife's name is. But anyways, they had the whole first long part of the show is Rick getting back with his wife and kid. And then he does. He reunites with them and has a relationship with them. Both happen in the show and the book. But that Carol chick in the book, after her husband dies, she sees Rick's dominance and just wants to be in this harem with them. And hey, take me in. I'm all yours, warlord. And yeah. But that's in the book. It's pretty creepy. I won't spoil it. I'll just let you know that happens. Comment down below if you actually know what happened in the book with Carol's character. See who of you are well read. I should bring out those trades just so I can show you them, but they're huge. I got the first 3 of those compendiums. You can get them at 4 compendiums. I think the compendiums are like probably $50 US. Might be able to find it for cheaper. Who knows? Amazing read. But I have like the first 3 compendiums and the rest of it's like issues or something like that. I don't know. Neurothrope. Okay, 40k people. If you're still watching, here you go, 40k people. I'm going to reward you. Pay for your patience in sitting through metal and horror. You get to look at a Neurothrope. And for those of you who do not know what this is a Neurothrope. It's a Tyranid. Tyranid is the species. The Neurothrope is the particular guy. Not my best job on that purple, admittedly. Getting that glare to show up just right is work. Some days you got it, some days it's not so much, and some days you're like, the model's done, I'm pushing it away. Painting advice, know when to push the model away. I have models that sit on my desk and they have various painting styles and weight standards. And they're there for a reason, to remind me. This one's a terrain piece, it doesn't have to look gorgeous. This is a basic model, it doesn't have to look gorgeous. This is a character, even though it's a character, it doesn't have to look gorgeous. This has to look good from this distance. Does it look good from this distance? Does it look good? It looks good. Now, more skill, more time, more perseverance. Start bringing that bitch in and you start realizing, man, you actually did stuff there. Yeah. Start somewhere and just get it done. And then, as you gain models, army, and skill, get better and better. And it's like anything, guys. It's a skill. Just work at it slowly and methodically, and you will work a solution. Slow, methodical, work the solution. And it's there. Anything you need to know is out there for you. You hold in your hands the answers to almost every question humanity has ever uttered. You not only have the question, but the answer. And there's only a few big ones that isn't gonna, well, that could answer it. It's like the big stuff, like, where do we go when we die? The answer's right there. That one just taken on faith. Some of us have faith of, well, we all have faith in something. Even atheists. Atheists, you have faith that there's nothing. That you're taking a bet and you're going to win. You're gambling. Essentially like the rest of us, because you don't know emphatically that there's nothing. Everybody has their evidence, but it's all hearsay, and it's all taken on faith. Faith of those things, we're just plan for the worst, hope for the best. That is faith in action. That phrase right there. Plan for the worst, hope for the best. And understand other things, that the only thing more accurate than enemy fire is friendly fire. Yeah, that can be taken many ways. It can mean in combat, and it can also mean the people who can hurt you the most are your friends and your family. Wisdom for the day. This is probably going to go up on a Sunday. We're still jamming this. We're 18 minutes in, it's only 5 songs. And that's probably the last one. Yeah, for 5 songs, 18 minutes long. It's pretty good. Well worth it. That's a good way to spend your Sunday morning. This is the 5th track? Oh shit. I thought I was done. Oh, yeah. Suffer Some More, I think is the name of this one. Yep. Yeah, these guys pack a hell of a punch for 5 songs. And their whole catalog's like that. They got an album on Unique Leaders Records. I have it. I was debating between that one and this one, and I have so much Unique Leader shit that I was spinning. I was like, let's get a different way. Yeah, I keep spinning all their stuff. Show that I like, you know. What is it? Relapse, Earache. Relapse was big back in the day. If you didn't have something from Relapse, that was weird. I guess Hells is kind of the same way. If you don't have something coming from that guy, that's kind of weird. If that's the case, y'all don't like physical copies. I guess this is definitely physical copy kind of stuff. Stuff I can tangibly hold and own. Well, I don't have to have the internet to listen to this. What a cheap-ass boombox. Post-apocalypse would suck. First thing I would miss is, like, CD players and razors. Like, keeping my face clean and jamming some metal. I feel civilized. That's why I do that. I feel civilized. That's why I don't like beards. Beards, you look uncivilized, unkempt. You look messy. But some of y'all groom your beards, and that goes too far. You shouldn't be grooming your beards. Grow that shit out and woolly, and you look like a fucking unkempt person, you know? Like, shave that. If you groom it too much, now you just look silly. You're grooming it. Just cut it off, look civilized, and don't act uncivilized until it's time to act uncivilized. I'm Cattle Prod, your Appalachian warlord. And remember, if it's not voluntary, it's tyranny.